My name is James R. Sangalang from BSCS 2A. This is my final project in algorithm and complexity. Time complexity using big O notation of linear time. What is big O notation? Big O notation is the most common metric for calculating time complexity. It describes the execution time of a task in relation to the number of steps required to complete it. Big O notation is written in the form of O of n, where O stands for order of magnitude and n represents what we're comparing with the complexity of a task against. Big O notation is used to describe two things. First, the space complexity. Second, the time complexity of an algorithm. What is space complexity? When an algorithm is run on a computer, it necessitates a certain amount of memory space. The amount of memory used by a program to execute is represented by its space complexity. A program requires memory to store input dates and temporal values while running. The space complexity is auxiliary and input space. What is time complexity? Time complexity is type of computational complexity that describes the time required to execute an algorithm. The time complexity of an algorithm is the amount of time it takes for each statement to complete. As a result, it is highly dependent on the size of the process data and it's also aid in defining an algorithm effectiveness and evaluating the performance. Here are some examples of displaying the array. And this is the example of big O notation. Time complexity using big O notation of linear search. These are the example of linear search. And these are the example of binary search. Thank you.